Hello and welcome from Garden to Plate. I am Alice Erickson, the creator of this channel. I have two passions in which I'd like to share with you. They are organic gardening and cooking. Throughout this channel, what you should expect is to me teach you how to utilize from your bounty of a harvest into everyday delicious meals. I also will be covering over tricks and tips that I have learned from my many years of experience. If that interests you, please like, subscribe, and most importantly, push that bell icon so therefore you can be informed of new content. In today's episode, I will be covering how to start your seeds in a hydroponic system. The tips and tricks in order to get the best start, so therefore it'll be very efficient. And the item I will be utilizing is my homemade pizza sauce. And I will show you how to make a pizza with everyday items, but do a couple little extra steps and make it oh so delicious. I like to use organic seeds compared to the conventional. The reason is that they have more nutrients inside of them, like antioxidants, which are incredibly important for our overall health. The other reason is that I don't have any off flavors when I cook. So I'm going to show you right now on how to utilize these hydroponic machines and start them off correctly. This is the hydroponic plant machine that I use, and these are the seeds I'm going to start today. Some San Marzano tomatoes and some Serrano chilies. That is the grow medium that the seeds are going to go into, and that is the vessel in order to stay in the machine. And to make sure I know what I'm growing, I have it all labeled. This is a bowl that I pour some distilled water in. I pre-soak the substrate, and I also cut the top so that way I could slide the seeds in. I will show you how to do all of that in just a moment. I first start off cutting the substrate. What I like to do is cut on each side with a pair of scissors. It makes it so much easier trying to do it this way compared to trying to put it in this tiny little hole that's right there. You fight with the tiniest of seeds sometimes, and it's just way easier to slip them in this way. And that is why I do that. I also pre-soak them with some distilled water, because the whole point is you want the seeds to be the outer layer broken down by water. That way the plant can start faster. So I put them all in a bowl. The reason I use distilled water, it's basically filtered water. It's safe for the plant, and that way there's nothing fighting the nutrient that's going to be going into. Like spring water has a lot of minerals in it. So I try to be most efficient in using nutrients that's provided by the hydroponic machine. So you just pour a little bit of water. You sit there and let them soak for a good 5 to 10 minutes, and then you fill them with seeds. One of the tricks that I have noticed that really helps out, because these seeds can be very tiny and slip out of your hands. So I take the little caps that are provided by the manufacturer who made the hydroponic machine, and I put the two different types of seeds in each one. And then I just take what I need, which I normally take about 2 seeds per pod, because you don't want to rely on just one. One of the things about seeds, about half of them will grow and the other half will not. So to up your odds, you put at least 2 seeds. And then when it grows, whoever is the stronger plant, you let it be and you cut out the smaller one. So as you can see, it's a lot easier to fill the pod. So I just slip in, which I am putting in the San Marzanos. You can tell that these are properly soaked because they're dark now. You put in to the pod
vessel, take your label, doesn't have to be perfect, just slide it right on, and it has sticking membrane on the back of here so that way it applies better, and then it is ready to go in the machine. There is little ports that water come out. That way periodically the machine will soak with the nutrient water that you're going to be putting inside of the tub. So what I make sure I do is, you notice these grooves, is when I click this in, I make sure that I will have a proper application, and I click it in, then I take a cap, make sure to put that over. Later on I will fill the tub, because when I have it in place where I want to put it, because it's a lot of weight with all the water, and it's just easy to carry when it's empty. And that is the other reason that I also soak the membrane, the substrate, that is for the pods, so that way they already start getting saturated.
It's that time to make the pizza. I'm going to show you the ingredients that I'm going to use, and then I will aim the camera so therefore you can see how I'm applying them. The ingredients I am using today are the store-bought standard thickness crust, mozzarella, different Italian cheeses, doing turkey pepperoni, utilizing my Italian herb spice, red pepper flake, and today's item, the pizza sauce. And as the final topping, I'm going to be adding some mushrooms. I first start off by preheating the oven and putting a pizza stone in. That way I get a nice crispy crust. The other thing that I suggest is you go 50 degrees higher than what the store-bought crust says, because as soon as you open that door, you're going to let out a decent amount of heat. Then you just change the temperature to as to what they suggested. I'm going to start off with adding the sauce. I like to use a large spoon. Start in the center, go in a circle motion to spread the sauce. And then I use the spoon and spread it out throughout the crust. This portion, which is a half pint, is enough to do 2 pizzas. Want a thin layer, that way it doesn't get soggy. I'm going to add the mozzarella. I like to do a decent layer but not too thick. So I just proportionally try to fill it as best as I can, just sprinkle it on. If the little cheese gets on the crust, no biggie, just extra flavor. Now we add the meat. I prefer doing turkey because it's less fat. So you just take and go into a circular motion starting from the outside of the crust. I space them about 1 inch from each other. Let me get loaded up here. Work my way into the center. Now it's time to add the mushrooms, which is the other ingredient that's going on this pizza as a topping. I just periodically spread them out. A good tip, take the amount of seasoning that you're going to use and put it in a small bowl. because you don't want to keep reaching into your existing container because you can contaminate it. So that's why I have these in 2 separate bowls. I'm going to add the topping cheese because there's never enough cheese. Then what I'm going to do is just gently allow the Italian herb to go on the very top of the pizza. I just do a very little bit at a time. Take my fingers and move them back and forth. It helps spread the seasoning. Then, because I like it a little hot, and plus they taste amazing on pizza, red pepper flake. Just like you did with the herbs, you just gently go on top, spread them out. The oven is ready, so I am going to add the pizza in, and then I'm going to turn the temperature down. Per the manufacturer instructions, it says do in 15 minutes. So I'm going to set my timer. And I'll wait to take it out and put it on the cooling rack. That'll come in just a moment. The pizza's finally ready to come out of the oven. Look at that. Oh yeah, nice and crispy. I'll allow it to cool down for a little bit, and then I'll give a taste test and let y'all know how it is. It's that time to taste it and tell you how it all is. Oh yeah. The Italian herb comes out nicely. The crust is very crispy. The cheese proportion is perfect. And my sauce doesn't have any sugar in it, so it's not overpowering. I wanted to thank you today for viewing the channel.